Hey, Sarah here. Today I'm thinking about parenting. I was listening to Gabor Mate, if I'm pronouncing his name right, and it triggered this line of thinking in me of, um, like, okay, my mom, I think, thinks she's a really good parent for the most part. Like, if I understand correctly, I feel like she grew up in chaos and then turned around as many of us do and like do the opposite when it's her turn to have children. Like things aren't going to be chaotic. But what I experienced as her child was that, oh, even though I believe that she was doing not only her best, but like really like, I think she thinks like, um, I didn't get structure and guidance and whatever. So I'm going to give that to my children, like that, right? But my experience as her child was like it wasn't what I needed. Like it felt like very controlling, very judgmental, very smothering, very enmeshment, like not good stuff, right? Um, so it's interesting. And then I look at my own children and I did the same as my mom, I think. Like I took, okay, I really didn't like feeling like that. You can probably feel my energy. So I'm also going to do the opposite, just on a different topic, but it's the same thing, right? Like I didn't like what I experienced. I'm going to do it different with my own children. Um, and I too, I mean, I imagine my mom thinks she's a great mom. I think she did great. I too felt like I'm a good mom and I did great because I don't control my children. I really uh, respect them as individual human beings. I really want to know their true thing, their heart, their opinion, their thought, their feeling. Like, so I'm giving them or trying to, I've made plenty of mistakes, um, what I didn't get. But now I'm like, oh, but follow the pattern. Was that what they needed? Might not be because my kids don't hate me or anything. But sometimes I get really good feedback from them as a parent, as their parent. And but I'm gonna guess that they're also gonna grow up and do things very different from what they got from me. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. Maybe it's not such a profound idea at all, but it feels interesting to me. That's still the point I'm at. For me, it's a progression. For a long time, it just felt like such hate, like for my mom. And as I become really happy in my life, I'm like, huh, how do I want to move forward from here? And it's been a thing of, um, and by the way, hate just means you feel really hurt. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you feel very hurt. I feel very hurt. I still do by her. So, but she doesn't mean it. In fact, she means really well, I think. So it's interesting how there can just be that miss. But yeah, as I become very happy in my life, um, overall, like a big jump in happiness level, right? And like enjoying my life and excitement and I find that it sort of naturally wants to resolve that then, like, or make a change at least, or explore that. And I sort of don't know because I've tried some things that haven't really worked and probably my own control. Uh, yeah. So I don't know, but I'm exploring it, which is great. Do I have any other thoughts to share? I feel like I thought this was going to be profound, and I think it really isn't, but it is, or it could be to some, if you're like me and this is like where you're at. Um, I guess, I really just saw things from my perspective before, as a child of my mom and as a parent of my children. And I didn't look so much. Sometimes I could find empathy for my mom by imagining her childhood, because I know there was abuse and stuff. Um, but more so now, I feel like I see the bigger picture now that I'm happier from doing Soma breath and just feel clearer. And I can then maybe zoom out and see how it goes back and back and back. She's a product of her parents, they are of theirs, and and then how it goes forward and forward. Uh, yeah, I really hope I've done some things right for my kids. I think I have. But also I set my intention and put it to the universe. I want to know, like, if they ever want to share it, because I would love if my mom would understand me and try and hear like how she hurt me without just taking it personally and shutting it down. I put my intention out there, not to get that, but to give that to my kids should they ever want it. I mean, I always invite that. But that, I don't know. Like, that's another thing I think I do right, right? But like, I don't know. They're different people. They're very different people from me. And I've gotten plenty of negative feedback from them. So anyway, but if they ever want to, I set my intention to be very open towards hearing anything that could be very potentially painful to hear. Like, oh, you think you like maybe how I'm talking about my mom. Like, oh, me, their mom. Hey, mom, you think you did great? Like, you were awful. This was not what I needed in this way and this way and this way. I set my intention to be able to um, hear stuff like that should they ever want to express it, move my emotions about it, feel what I need to feel. How does that make me feel? But like really be able to. I really don't know whether I'm saying something important or whether I'm just sort of like doing what my mom does or anyone does, kind of where you're a little bit posturing or a little bit like, well, I am a good mom or whatever. I don't know. Let me just take 1 second before I wrap up. How do I feel in this moment having shared that? I feel like I need to connect and go in more, and I will. I'm still going to share this though. I wish you all a wonderful day. I would love to hear from anybody. I really am interested in connecting with people. Yeah, love you.